I just don't understand what, because they even see like, and maybe they got into more detail, but countdown towards disaster, climate change, or a nuke, like what?
It's a warning. It's a clock to warn us that
Once
we
it
are in
hits
dangerous
midnight,
waters.
what is disaster?
Disaster is doomsday.
And what is that?
It's the day of doom.
And what happens?
Doom.
To who?
All of us on that day.
Oh, because that's important. Because that's different. Because
you thought it was like, just what? You thought it was counting down for one person?
Because none of those change happens in different degrees in different regions, and a nuke it's got proximity to it.
Yeah.
Now it can have reverberating effects in terms of markets and supply chains, but nothing is felt evenly.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I wish the Doomsday Clock, instead of calling it Doomsday, because clearly that's about the marketing,
but it should have time zones. The Doomsday Clock should have time zones.
I was going to say that
the world.
It should be an end of an era. That's really what it, because the odds that every human being on the planet dies when the clock hits midnight.
You see where I'm going with this, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's where I'm trying to help you out here. I'm trying to clean up some of this urine in the pool. I think what you're saying is that we're not all going to die on Doomsday. This is true. It's just the end of it's like the end of our civilized period. Maybe another dark, maybe basically it's the end of an age of light, and then entering into a dark age, which is kind of how I wish they did talk about it. Because I think that's what they're really going for. They're saying that this period, this light period that we've all enjoyed, this period of unprecedented peace, that ends. And we're probably
even that is subjective, though. I mean, I guess you're speaking about the wealthy nations. That's subjective.
Well, yeah. That you're right. That is
but that's my problem with this. It's like for a clock for who?
Yeah.
And if it's just for us, then let's just say it. I mean, is it our clock? Is it a U.S. clock?
You're probably right. It probably is a clock of the global north. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, because it doesn't mean like nuking a small country somewhere in the global south is probably not what Doomsday refers to. So again, that's why the war in Ukraine. I mean, there's many reasons the war in Ukraine is important, but it's like the first war on European soil in quite some time. So yeah, it does feel like a clock for the global north. Yes. Okay. More or less. Yeah.
Just as long as we're clear.